is going on, everybody? Hello, hello, hello. Happy Thursday. I have missed you all. I think it's been over a full week of no streams. So I apologize for that. I had some obligations last week and then was traveling over the weekend into Tuesday. But we are back. The markets are red. And so if we're going to FUD, I have only one rule. It's got to be fun, FUD only. All right. So throw your best at me. Tell me why you think everything's going to crap, why the markets are going to crash, the world is going to burn, and our wonderful game of Splinterlands is just so. No, I'm just kidding. However you want to do it. I just figured we'd have some fun. People are throwing FUD out there anyway. So if you're going to do it, get creative. Let's have some entertainment value this morning. All right. So I'll get to the comments in just a second, but if we take a look at Splinter cards here, DEC is down, SPS is down, Voucher's so close to under 3 cents. I'm like watching this religiously just to wait, see when it goes below 3 cents. Hive is actually down as well, down to almost under 31 cents. Bitcoin could not hold the 29K, so we're sitting now in the bottom half of 28. And of course, we're seeing a bunch of the other altcoins follow. Bitcoin gets a bruise, but all the alts bleed is really how it's going to go. Okay, so let's see who we got here in the house. Good morning, Virus. Good to have you, brother. I know we wanted to do a land stream this week, and I apologize. Well, actually, I'm not going to apologize. I was planning on doing it with the Mav server live, so that's not here yet. But once it is, I figure we can do our round 2. But if you want to do a round 2 before then, just let me know. I'll be honest, I still have not organized myself in the way that you are organized, and I only have 3 plots. Although several folks have reached out to me. Hold on. Why is Darkest Night calling me? Hold on. Let me just text him real quick, see if he wants to hop on. I don't think he can, but streaming chat later, or wanna hop on? All right. So let's see what he's going for. All right. So good morning, Leandro. Good to see you here. Blockchain Projects. Good morning to you too. Oh, hello from Peru. Let's go. Hello to Peru. All right. So good morning. I'm ready for land 1.5. Trying to get a plot in Gangland. It shouldn't be that hard to get one, right? I mean, Gather the Magic. You're an essential part of the community. Just reach out to Gank. I'm sure he'd hook you up. What's going on, Kevin Winsborough? Okay, so I like to do this with names I don't recognize, and I'm not perfect. In fact, my memory is kind of terrible. Kevin, I don't believe I've spoken with you before, so just curious if you're a new player, a new chatter on a new channel subscriber, or just a new chatter on the channel. But good to have you here. Renier Games, what's going on? Hello from Norway. Oh, we're going worldwide right now. Blockchain Projects, my FUD is I need more dollars to accumulate SPL assets. Okay, so Blockchain Projects, what are you trying to go for right now? Everything is down. Everything is in the red. So that's not really FUD, but what are you trying to accumulate more of? Are you preparing for land? Do you need DEC? Is it SPS? What are you going for? Cards? Hey, Paus. Yeah, it has been a while. But thank you for coming through. Glad you could make it. Kevin's coming in from England, UK. Let's go. Skyer, let's go. What's happening? Fun. How about SPS will not appreciate in price until SPS staking is done? No more SPS in ranked or guild rewards. Will only appreciate in 3 years from now? That's not fun though. Because it's true. I'm just kidding. I don't think that's going to be the case. I do think we're gonna trigger the flywheel at some point in the next 12 months. So, assuming we get land 2.0 out by the middle of next year, but it's on the roadmap for Q1, so I think we should be good. Wibble what's going on? I'm good to wait for Mav server to be up. All right, cool. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot to it, and I'll be honest with you guys. I probably can't say much, but I have had a chance to do some internal QA testing, and there's a lot, man. Okay, so we're throwing FUD around for fun, but Farpatrod, Hardpoint, like the team has been working hard. They were like, I saw messages on the internal thing like all weekend. They've been really going at it. So I know we're all frustrated about the fact that they set a deadline for this past weekend, they didn't hit it. But at the end of the day, I know that they're going to get it out hopefully sooner rather than later. It's just I hope they don't throw out any more deadlines until like the launch live button is ready to go, because the salt is like too delicious now. Everybody's just chiming in. Actually, it's funny because everybody was chiming in throughout the week, and then yesterday I noticed, or early in the week yesterday I noticed Mav chat, Discord, like it just everything was dead, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I was like, maybe we all just like take a little break and wait to see what happens. Will I be doing a Rift Watcher bulk buy? I was not planning to. I had thrown it out there if people were interested, but I don't think that there's enough interest. I don't know. I mean, are people here? Do people here want me to do one, or would they be interested? I mean, we're gonna see. The thing is, we're gonna see Rift Watchers burn, man. My prediction. I put out that video a while back. I think we're gonna see over 40%, maybe even 50%, which would be crazy. Because then this pack set, which has some very awesome cards in it, would only be 1.5 million packs. Granted, there's going to be a good amount sent to the DAO, right? There's almost 1% sent to the DAO. In fact, here, sorry, let me, if you don't mind, I don't have the calculator up on this computer, but I'm going to pull it up on my phone. So we're at 5% exactly right now, burned or sent to the DAO, right? And every day we remove 15,000 packs, burning 90% of them. So that's half a percentage point. So in order to get to 50%, so 50 minus 5 divided by 0.5, 90 days. So here's the big question. Do you think we will make it 90 more days of burns, or 90 more days until Rift Watchers sells out? And what's 90 days from today? Hold on, let me see. It's roughly 3 months. So I guess mid-August, right? What is 90 days from today? We're just Googling it. November 11th. I'm sorry, November 15th. This didn't have the right initial date. Okay, so here's the question for you guys. Do you think Rift Watchers will sell out before November 15th? Assuming a bunch of other things, right? Like assuming we get land 1.5 before November, assuming we get Soul Keep before November, is there going to be enough of an appetite to get Rift Watchers done by November 15th? And keep in mind, even if we do get Rift Watchers done by November 15th, that means we are going to buy another 500,000 packs, which when DEC is at peg is what, $2.5 million? When DEC is like what, 20% below peg. So is there another $2 million that is ready to either come into the ecosystem or be reallocated from elsewhere in order to get us to that, get us to the promised land, where we at least buy 50% of Rift Watchers packs? Because I'm telling you, we make it to November 15th, it's game over. Well, it's not game over, but it's half over, half game over. All right, where did I leave off here? So everything everywhere. Let's go. All right, Kevin, I've been playing for 2 years. Got into watching you recently. Super excited about land. About 33 pods. Well, welcome to the channel. Glad you're here. Well, we try to do this regularly throughout the week, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays whenever I can. But hopefully we also do tournaments every Sunday. So Kevin, hopefully you'll be able to come through. Except last Sunday because I was traveling. What's going on, Dragon? From a McDonald's coffee run. Let's go. Well, I'm not McDonald's, but I do have the Papa Bear mug today. Well, I have the Papa Bear mug every day. I never got one with a bull on it, so I'm gonna wait. Ooh, okay. Let me ask you this: at what SPS price should I go out and buy the bull mug? The Papa Bull sounds weird, but Papa Bull mug, or just the bull mug in general. When does everybody here believe we are going to be kind of in a quote unquote bull run? So I want to know your SPS, not a price prediction, but your SPS price point where all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, it's happening. Let's go. That's when I will go and get myself a fancy bull mug. All right. So Gavin says, I have the DEC I need. Now I'm focused on vouchers and mainly Rift Watcher packs. A couple months, no more packs available when they sell a gift. Yeah, I'm actually considering looking looking into Rift Watcher packs right now too, just because I think it's going to be a very rare set, and some of those cards are just fantastic, like from top to bottom. Sorry, from top to bottom, except for the summoners. There's a lot of really good cards in there. I mean, the summoners are good. Ilthane's phenomenal, but everything else is just okay. Whoa. Hold on. I had a little squirrel moment there. My cat literally like jumped onto the dining table where he knows he's not supposed to be on, and he's facing me, looking at me, taunting me, because he's like, what are you going to do? You're going to pause your stream to come and get me off? This little jerk face. All right, so right now my focus is on buying plots of certain natural resources, also accumulating as many rare, legendary, regular full cards to be used for land. All right. Morning, Icy Flow. What's going on? Tales from the Cryptmancer. Hello, crypto boys and ghouls. All right, Splinterlands is going to force me to buy Baldur's Gate 3 with all of these delays. You know what? Last night, I'll be real with you guys, right? I made a couple of videos last night, but I didn't feel like it. For the first time, I really didn't feel like it. I was like, the Discord was super quiet. I had talked with like Darkest Night earlier in the day, and we're just like, right. And I was like, oh, I need to pick up another game. I need to find something else to do, because I do my 24 battles a day with my main account, and that's like, it'll take me 30 minutes, 45 minutes. And again, I'm doing it throughout the day, so it's kind of fun. But last night was the first time I was just like, oh, it'd be fun to like stream another game. I thought about getting back into Fortnite, but then I just ended up having a lazy night. So let me know how Baldur's Gate 3 is. Maybe I'll pick that up. I buy 100 at a time, but I would join a big Rift Watcher group buy. Interesting. Okay. Well, you're racking up those airdrop points, which I think are crucial. So if you're buying 100 at a time, that's the only thing with the airdrops, is that we either got to sell it or do something fancy schmancy with it. No, 70 days. What are we talking about, Skyer? What did I say? All right, so Wibbles just got my DEC for land. Please don't tempt me with a group buy. Oh, bold prediction here by Gathering the Magic. Rift Watchers will sell out by Halloween. I don't know, Gathering the Magic. Gathering the Magic, I love chatting with you because you, in my opinion, and I say this lovingly, I feel as though you are irrationally bullish. Like, how are them vouchers doing for you right now? Thank you for continuing to buy mine. What's up, BB Omega? Hey, BB Omega, I talked to Stever. I think we're gonna do a chat at some point soon. Although I want you on here too, but I think I'm gonna chat with you guys at some point in the near future. So I'm looking forward to that. Rift Watcher's gonna burn. Bull Mug comes when SPS is at $1. Wow. Okay. I wasn't gonna go that high. I was saying like beginning of the bull run, but you're talking about like probably the top, hitting new all-time highs. If I had to pick, I would say if SPS were to hit 10 cents, I would consider getting the Bull Mug. Bull Daddy. All right. I'm gonna check Amazon right now, because if there's a Bull Daddy mug out there, I love that. Wait, what is going on? Stop it. Bull Daddy. Let's freaking go. Bull Daddy mug. If that does not exist, I'm gonna make it. All right, we're gonna design it. All right, it's not there. We're gonna design it, and then Walking Keys has been telling me for the longest time. He's like, dude, you need to get merch on your channel. I'm like, I know. I have like merch for music stuff, but I'm just too lazy to do merch here. But that would be a great idea. So thank you, BB Omega. We'll design a Bull Daddy mug. All right. So Sound is the problem. Once you buy the Bull Mug, we go straight to the moon. No, it's just. So Absalom is the problem. Oh, you're saying I'm the problem. Once you buy the Bull Mug, we go. Okay, so yeah, you know what? I'm gonna hold this down. Until we hit 10 cents. Want me to print a mug protection with a bull, and the other side to have a bear? No. I want two different mugs. I want it to feel different when I'm sipping, my coffee, talking with you guys. The Bull Mug is gonna be actually, the Bull Mug should be. Never mind, it's both caffeine. I was like, it's gonna be some kind of like energy drink. But I don't touch that. Look at the top holders. 200 has only 80 Rift Watcher packs. Almost no one is holding Rift Watcher packs. Well, how many Rift Watcher packs are in circulation right now? Hang tight. We have almost 300,000 circulating. Oh no, you know what? This number's off. I love Splinter cards, but just FYI, these numbers are not correct. The 1.8 million available is right, but see the 1179 purchased, that I believe that includes open, circulating, burned, and then Dow. But see, here's the thing. No. Okay, so so available and open, I believe, are correct. But circulating, I think, includes what's actually circulating minus what's burned and minus the Dow. Holy crap! So there's actually not that many out there. So let's see, 280 minus 121 minus 27. So there's about 132,000 packs that are actually circulating, if I'm looking at this the right way. Very, very interesting. How much these packs going for? Oh, look at the Chaos Legion cards dropped again. Remember when this was a $1.50? Now we're back down. The price has not changed here though. But you can get these on Hive Engine for $3.63. But you know what? You don't get anything for it. I'm like, I almost want to buy more Nightmare packs. Just because the returns on Nightmare packs are still like 33% for SPS. But I don't know when Soul keeps coming out. Well, we did just pass the thing, so there's that. Weirdbeard said that was a major holdup, but I don't think that's the holdup. We could have passed that months ago if we really wanted to. The holdup seems to be the code. So, you know what? Speaking of FUD, oh, never mind. We'll go down that road. All right. I think I got enough DC for land, struggling not to spend it on Rift Watchers as I really need them. Hey, fair enough, Kevin. Oh, what's up? Stever's in the house too. We had a dip last night while I was sleeping. Oh man, no, this dip's been going on, Stever. I don't know how long you've been sleeping, but it must have been a while. I feel like it's been dipping since well, maybe not last night, but definitely like early yesterday morning. I saw us go below 29. Might I suggest Superior from Gala? Oh, is this a new game from Gala? I'll check that out. I really do want to check out more games. I know I keep saying it all the time. I just haven't. So like I had the chance to check out Stella Fantasy, and shout out to Tales from the Cryptmancer, who's doing fantastic content for that. It's just I don't have the time to be jumping into the game and playing at the same level. But I did grab some of the tokens because I think that they're going to do some awesome stuff. I think that they're already doing some awesome stuff. But yeah, if you want to learn more, go check out Tails' channel. Go play Splinter Forge, use your SPL assets to get some Forge and build your hero. I want something different. Splinter Forge is just too much like Splinterlands. It's good, but I want a shooter. I think I'd have fun if we did like a shooter. Now, what shooter? I don't know. Darkest Night's trying to get me into like a Web 2 one, so I need to check it out. Maybe we'll do that this weekend. Oh no, never mind, guys. We have the conspiracy theory stream this weekend, so that's coming up on Saturday. I actually already scheduled the stream, so if you go to the channel and see like upcoming live streams, it will be there, so you can set your calendars. Now we are talking very specific topics. Last time was kind of like an introductory. We just like whatever, but we wanted to focus specifically on JFK and MK Ultra, just because Walking Keys is super knowledgeable about that, or at least the JFK stuff, and we're looking into the rest of it. I watched the JFK movie, and I'm gonna do a little more research on MK Ultra. And Steve will be joining us this time around. I wanted to hop in, so we'll see. We'll probably I guess have rotating guests. I mean, I assume I guess we'll just be having rotating guests if we continue to do this. So if you're interested in hopping in at some point in the future, that'd be fun. All right, so might I suggest Superior from Gal? Oh, we talked about that. Okay, I look at vouchers long term. They will stay very low until the team implements daily use for them in small amounts. Their focus isn't there yet. Maybe use for them in Land 2.0, pay for a % of taxes. Nah, I don't think so. I think So the best argument that I've heard is that the team is going to pivot and pay attention to vouchers once they get DEC back up to peg. So whenever you think that's going to be, then maybe they'll take a look at vouchers. But vouchers to me really, we don't even know how many there are anymore because there's no easy way to track it, right? Like 14.6 million are printed every year. So far in its entirety, we've seen 23.4 million. I don't know how many have been burned so far, how many are sitting on like the bridge, because they made the whole like voucher G situation, so it's just hard to track. But I don't think that there's, well, we said it's gonna be a FUD only stream, right? So let's make it fun. I don't think that there's gonna be anything that could really save vouchers, right? I think they're always gonna have a use case. It's just we're always gonna be flooded with them. So everything that's priced, right, is just gonna be essentially double priced. So you look at something like cereal, for example. People were complaining about the price, but you get half off with vouchers. So I feel like we're going to see that. Now, when it comes to cosmetics and all that stuff, like maybe. But here's the thing. Let's get real about it. Why would I ever want anything priced in vouchers? I want DEC burned because I'm holding SPS. Vouchers literally mean nothing to me anymore. They used to, right? And I get them if I want to have some kind of discount. But if I want the entire ecosystem to grow, vouchers don't do shit. Sorry, pardon my French, but they don't do anything for the economy, right? Sure, they can bump up the SPS APR a little bit, but at the end of the day, like that doesn't really mean anything. We know what's really going to drive SPS demand is the fact that at some point the flywheel is going to trigger. At some point, we'll hopefully get some new players for the game and for Soul Keep, and they're going to need SPS to stake in order to play the game, right? Nobody. I will make the argument, I will make the bold statement right now that I don't believe anybody out there, and please chime in, but I know you're lying. I don't believe anybody out there is staking SPS right now with their number one reason being that they want vouchers. No, who the hell wants vouchers, right? You can go buy them for 3 cents. Everybody is staking SPS because they want more rewards in the game, or they're staking SPS because it gets them different access or whatever the case is. But vouchers, they're no longer the access token that they were supposed to be, right? And Aggie's even said this. It's something that kind of, I'll be honest, I was just like, what? I had to do a double take because I was like, when did vouchers become like the cool access token, right? That is going to get you access to all these different things, to the discount token. He's referred to it several times as the discount token. He refers to the GLGT on the GLS platform as the discount token. So, I very highly value like tickets to exclusive events, but I throw all my coupons away, right? They just go straight in the garbage from my mailbox. So that's just kind of how I feel about vouchers now. And at the end of the day, it's like, well, do I want them to take utility away from DEC to give to vouchers? No, because nobody's going to buy SPS for vouchers, right? They're going to buy SPS to burn for DEC when there's no longer enough DEC. All right, I'll get off my soapbox here. Hopefully that was not fun enough, in my opinion, for FUD, but that's just how I feel about vouchers. No, I'm gonna say I'll just 3D print a protection for the exterior. Oh, okay. Well, that'd be pretty cool. Scar, I guess I can throw it on there. It's a bigger mug. You need a Euphoria mug, like gold plated, when you feel on top of the world. Yeah, but the thing is, Euphoria doesn't last for forever, so it's gonna not like bear markets. So that mug is gonna be used for about a day or two. All right. Yeah, we're having you with Darkest Night next Monday. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I didn't even ask Darkest Night if he can join on Monday. So let me double check with him before we start branding that. I said that I'm free Monday, but I didn't realize I didn't invite Darkest Night. So I don't know if Stever did already, but I'll shoot him a message and see if he's free. I thought you guys just wanted me. You really just want me for Darkest Night. That's all it is. All right, Gather Magic. If vouchers get used in any way for Land 2.0 going forward, watch out. I think they're going to get used for guilds, but what I want to see for guilds. Okay, so let's be constructive here. I think that the only way that we ever get any kind of ongoing utility for vouchers is if there's some kind of infinite staking or infinite burn for vouchers within guilds. They talked about infinite monster staking, but I think we would really need to see an infinite voucher staking because vouchers are infinite. So yeah, like, let's put it this way. Imagine if there was, imagine if guilds right now had something where you get some benefit, right? Proportional to the amount that you have staked versus what everybody else has staked. I wouldn't be selling my vouchers. I would be giving it to my guild. There would not be all this tremendous sell pressure, right? So it's just a simple, I don't know how simple it is, but a simple concept. The execution and coding is probably going to be much more difficult, but if there is some kind of infinite thing similar to like SPS staking, right, where you get a pool of the rewards or a proportion of the rewards based on how much you have, I think there's got to be something like that for vouchers. But it's just like, what do you get? What kind of rewards will guilds be able to give out that will be proportional and coming from a finite place, right? Merits are infinite, crowns are infinite. So I don't know. I mean, we are going to get 50 new tokens, so maybe they make a new token and make it 51. Surely Rift Watchers, the next 3 airdrops cards are worth getting packs for. Yeah, I think so. I mean, the Rift Watcher legendaries are out of control. I mean, a lot of them are very, very good. Tails got me into Stella. Let's go. Stever, how's your experience been with that? Good morning, everyone. I hope you are all doing well. Good to see you here, Liberty Guy. Vouchers might have a mini pump when we can unlock Soulbound. I like your optimism, Stever. But okay, actually, can we do a quick poll of the audience? How many people here are actually planning on unlocking some of their Soulbound cards? Or I have maybe one, and I don't even think I want to use it anymore, that I would do. So that would be like, I don't know, less than 100 vouchers. I made a vid on 10 uses for vouchers. I think the team will eventually implement at least a couple of them. I hope so, man. I hope so. Vouchers are why research tokens scare me on land. The wording is too similar that it will gate you from future things. Oh, see, Virus is coming in with the fun FUD. Let's go. Yeah, man. Well, at least research tokens can't be sold. Or at least for now, they can't be sold from what we know. If it's just something that you got to go through in the game and get it in order to level up, then that's fine. Actually, I'm totally cool with that. Like, can you imagine if vouchers couldn't be sold? There's an idea. If vouchers couldn't be sold, if vouchers were soulbound and they gave you coupons, but you couldn't sell those coupons to other people, you needed to stake SPS to do it. Well, then guess what? Everybody's going to buy and stake SPS. And I know this is antithetical to the initial reason that the team wanted to have vouchers in the first place, because they want you to be able to sell your access. But you know what? If there's nothing to access, then everyone's just going to sell whatever it is for the longest time. Now, here's the thing. Let's get realistic. Let's get bullish for a second. Rebellion. When Rebellion comes out, how many packs do you think they're going to sell? I think at least at a minimum, it's going to be 15 million. So if it is 15 million, and assuming we actually sell through all 15 million, because with the player base that we have now, I would say we hit like 12 million, right? Total Chaos Legion packs. And that was we're at like 12 million Chaos Legion packs. But that was with massive deals. That was with burning that didn't come in until the end, right? Promo cards, holiday sales, bulk buys, right? For Splinterfest and then for the holidays. And we still burned almost 20%. I wouldn't be surprised if, had none of that happened, we only sold 10 million, right? Maybe. So, fine. Let's say we're being incredibly bullish and we say 15 million Rebellion packs, and all of them require a voucher. So you eat up 15 million vouchers, which is not bad when you think about it, considering that we print less than that per year, 14.6 million, but we've still had like a year and a half. And by the time Rebellion comes out next year, we'll still have like 2 years worth of vouchers that we would have printed. All right, vouchers will help burn DEC if people can use half the cost in vouchers. People will want to get rid of vouchers and want to spend. No, I disagree with this respectfully. If people want something, they're going to pay the DEC for it. So it's like, yeah, cool, give them a discount. But like, if you really wanted whatever it was, you would spend double the amount of DEC, and that helps us overall. All right, really excited to see how research tokens will work. I wonder if you need a certain number of them to unlock other buildings you can build your plot on. Okay, so here's what I like about the idea for research tokens. If it is going to gate like the level of your building or the types of buildings you can use, which makes sense, right? You think about any traditional game, right? You have to do some kind of research, unlock whatever technology, and then you can build that building or create that unit. That's awesome. I actually really like that idea. So I'm not bearish on research tokens. It's just, okay, if they're gonna gate stuff like that, then everybody is going to need to get research tokens at some point, which means at some point everybody is going to be a net they're going to be like a net consumer of resources in land rather than a producer. And what I mean by that is they're not going to be getting SPS, they're not going to be getting grain, they're going to be going for research tokens, which means that they have to have either the grain coming in from another place, right? Which they are then not selling, right? They are producing it on another plot and having that feed their research, or they have to go to the market, buy it, and essentially burn DEC. So I think that research can be one of the biggest things. It's just the reason I'm like, here's the thing. I want more details on it because I want people to go for it day one. But long term, I'm still actually quite bullish on research tokens and what they do. If they do it in that way. But to Virus's point, it's just like, well, if we're going to be collecting resources or research tokens and there's nothing you can do with them until Land 2.0 comes out, and Land 2.0 isn't coming out until Q1 of next year, nobody's going to bother. Everybody's just going to be farming SPS and grain and dumping it on the market. Exactly, Virus. Just don't say it too loud. Lots of people still swimming in denial. I like that. I'm thinking the same thing, Gathering. All right, so yes, I want that mug, so when you use it, I can start selling. All right, perfect. That'll be the sign, guys. That'll be the secret sign. All right, when I start using the not Papa Bull. What is it? Bull Daddy mug. I'm gonna go on what is it? Not Midjourney. What's the one that I use? Oh, Dolly. Start mocking up some designs for Bull Daddy. All right, so Matt is super bullish on research on Land 1.5. It's called circulatory for a reason. Totally agreed with Stever on his video on Land 1.5. Aggie was super bullish on vouchers and said it was the thing he was most proud of creating. Yep. Vouchers were his idea. He does take credit for that. Tales from Cryptmancer, the only difference I can think of is that it's more isolated environment and land. They were more driven to give DEC value than gate things with vouchers. All right, how far behind am I? Okay, so I don't have enough soulbound costs to bother unlocking. Oh, so Kevin's going to unlock some of the gold foil ones. I don't have enough soulbound cards to bother unlocking. Okay. At triple price of burn rate, soulbound cards are now worthless to me. Yeah. Well, they're not worthless. You get to use them in game. I use soulbound cards all the time. I might unlock 3 of my gold foil legendaries for land, but the cost is scaring me away. It's not that high, is it? Especially when you can use vouchers for 3 cents. Dude, the vouchers are valued at 20 cents at peg. 20 cents a peg, and you can get them for 3 cents on the buck right now. All right, I just figured out I'll probably be using around 230,000 DEC and 1,100 vouchers to unlock soulbound cards so far. All right, so here is somebody who has Virus. I'm just going to use you as an example. I think Virus has 10 lands. I think he actually has a little bit more than that now, but 10 plots of land and 1140 vouchers. So I'm just going to do some math here and we'll see what this ends up looking like. So 1140 divided by 10 equals 114 vouchers per plot. So times 150,000 plots. That means we would burn 17 million vouchers, which is actually a significant amount. So that's incredibly high. If every plot is going to burn on average 140 vouchers. Sorry, 140 vouchers. So, Virus, I hope you're doing it for the rest of us. All right. Let's go back here. Too many tokens that need support and propping up. With the team's delivery time frames, be prepared to wait. All right. Anyone get airdrops from nodes or Rooney yet? What airdrops are we supposed to get from? Well, we're getting airdrops from nodes, but I don't know if you're being sarcastic, because I don't think there's anything for Rooney. I hope they don't have a print run for Rebellion. Just release it for 6 months, then pull it. Just have a tracker for how many sell. No, I would never want that. I want there to be a maximum amount. If it sells out before then it sells out before then. Like, release it for 6 months, but there's still got to be like a 15 million cap. What's going on, Luke? Sorry, don't care about RT or research tokens, but I'm really curious about the secret of Praetoria. Yeah, and Skyer, this is what I'm talking about, right? They haven't given us a reason to care yet. Like, we know that it's going to have value. It's going to be something, but it's like, it's going to be so far down the line unless they can give us a little bit of a preview now. So, if land was going to hit the Mav server, which it didn't last week, and then we were going to have, we haven't had Matt on the town hall in a long time. So I think that hopefully on the 28th, that'll be one that Matt can join and give us some land alpha. And keep in mind, the 28th is the day before the last maintenance window, the 29th of August, which I'm hopeful for that the team will be able to get land out by then. Live, not map server, but actually live. So my hope is we all get pumped. We get it on map server sometime before then. Everybody gets familiar with it. It comes out on the 29th, and the day before, Matt comes on and says, hey, here's what research tokens are going to do in 1.5, and then in 1.6, and then in 2.0. And then everyone's like, oh no, what do? I had everything planned out and mapped out to go for grain and for SPS, but I'm going to need research tokens ASAP. So that's my ideal scenario to see play out over the next 10 to 12 days. All right. Why do you want a cap for packs? If they print too few, people will complain. If they print too many, they have to burn them. So why do I want a cap for packs? The main draw with crypto is digital scarcity. I don't want there to ever be a bunch more, because what can end up happening is somebody goes in, buys a bunch of packs, and then you have players leave the game at a later point, and there's too many cards once again. So I think that, a lot of people may end up buying packs just because they can, right? Similar to what happened with Chaos Legion. Look at Chaos Legion. Had we not done those massive sales, right, and offered just whatever kinds of discounts, the packs wouldn't have been devalued as much because there wouldn't be as many sitting out there. So I 100% believe that there needs to be a cap on it. Also, not doing a cap is just lazy to me. Granted, what they did last time is they put a cap, but the cap was too high and there was no burn mechanism in place. Now, I really like the team's approach where it's just like they're going to have a burn mechanism in place from the get-go, but there still needs to be a cap. Random, but whatever happened to that Luke the streamer guy? I think he's building games or doing some cool stuff. I still follow him on Twitter. Yeah, but 1 or 2 years to find Secret Pretoria, but even if they haven't figured it out yet, it'll be awesome. Yeah. I'm bullish on land over the next year or two. Like I said, my hope is that by next summer, so a year from now, we get 2.0. Because I really think if the team doesn't get 2.0 out by the time, shortly after the Bitcoin halving, if the momentum is picking up then, and we're not in a place because again, I don't think that 1.5 is going to be enough to really push the flywheel into action. We're gonna start generating some power for the flywheel. 1.6 might generate a little bit more, but I think it's really gonna be 2.0 that happens. So if 2.0, like if 2.0 gets delayed to like 2025 for some reason, I think we missed the bull market, and that's a serious thing there, right? But hopefully, even at that point, it doesn't matter because dumb money will be flying around. All right, there were hints similar to vouchers that things like nodes and Rooney would get all the cool stuff in the future. It's a familiar selling point. Gala does at least airdrop NFTs to their nodes. Did we ever hear anything about nodes getting access to stuff? I mean, there is an airdrop for the GLX nodes coming up. You're going to get a GLX node shard. 1 to 10. But yeah, I mean, it's coming. Rooney, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Rooney is going to be something different. In nodes, we get vouchers and SPS. Rooney, they're figuring it out. Do you guys think lots of players want to land surf? You know, Dragon, I've thought a lot about this. I think I don't know what you would quantify a lot as, but something that I would consider for myself personally, with all the extra cards that I have, are, hey, if the rental market ain't working, all right, if the rental market isn't really booming, then maybe I just, cough up some DEC. It doesn't need to be maxed out. Throw some cards on a plot that, nobody else really wants, and I'm not going to have to fight for, and just rake in some value, more value than I would be if I was getting renting the cards out, right? So I think that there's still going to be a lot of value to land surfing in that way, because land can be interacted with in a casual format, where it's just like, yeah, okay, I have some extra cards, I have some extra DEC, let's just do it and see what happens, right? Now, here's the thing. 1.5, land surfing is like a cool idea. 2.0, land surfing, I think, really can take off, because, and when I say take off, I'm not trying to be like overly bullish, but the reason that I like the idea for 2.0 is because now all of a sudden there's 50 resources, and let's say you need X amount of resources for whatever, you go buy it off the market. But it's like, if you have DEC that you can stake, and if you have monsters and they're not doing anything, and the rental market's just meh, and you have time, it's just like, let me go surf some plots, right? See what happens. We just need to wait. It's a bear market. It's normal. I think 10 million at most packs will be plenty for the next set. Okay, so Kevin, I believe you're right, but I don't think that there's any way that they print less than 15 million. I don't think that's going to happen. Sending out love for Jeff Opens. Oh, man, I will shoot him a message right after this. Dang. Okay, probably what gets unlocked for finishing the Secret Pretoria is the ability to mint cards and spells. You have the research how to make them, so it makes sense. Plus, it's probably 2+ years out anyway. True. Well, we know it's 2 years out. You won't be able to mint spells until 2.5. And then you won't be able to use them until 3.0. And 3.0 is in 2025. This is a way better project than others that I'm into. True. Again, I know we're having fun with the FUD and everybody's frustrated, but this is still one of the best projects out there. Now, here's the thing. This is one of the best projects overall, but there's a lot of really cool games out there. But are they the complete package? I think a lot of that remains to be seen. I will unlock Soulbound. I have a lot of gold cards near or at max level. Okay, cool. See, but this goes into the other thing that I'm talking about. Look, okay, so you do have not a lot, but you have people who will be unlocking their Soulbound gold cards. Well, that means that all the rest of the cards on the market currently are not going to be soaked up for land. Matt was on the town hall just over 6 weeks ago. Town hall end of August will be 8 weeks. Yes, he said he likes to be on monthly. But yeah, I guess he hasn't been on in a while, so hopefully he's on the next one. I just want help I just want to help out decentralizing the SPS chain, also get paid for it. Well, here's the problem. We're all getting paid for it. If you're a node holder, we're all getting paid for it now without doing any work. I want to Lancer for the cards I replace on my land with soulbound cards. Actually, you know what's an interesting thing going back to this? We had governance live for land airdrop rewards, or not airdrop, but land rewards, and then soul keep or nightmare pack rewards. If I could go back in time, I think I would have voted against both of those. It just was unnecessary inflation for not doing any of the work. All of a sudden, we were getting 6.25 million SPS from land and another 1 million SPS from tower defense packs, just hitting the markets every month with no game and no land. And I know governance wasn't live for the airdrop for the node stuff, but hot damn, looking at it now, I would never have agreed to that. I mean, I was already upset about the vouchers getting pushed out, but I think people just need to get comfortable with waiting, and that's the problem. We're all impatient, and I think the team was caving in to try to cater into a lot of the sentiment. I mean, especially for land had been like a couple of years. So the thing is, I voted with landholders at that time, right? Because I'm just like, oh yeah, it's been a while. But looking back, I think I would have voted against it. And I think if there's anything like that in the future where they pre-sell something and then want to give rewards and it's not live yet, I'll vote and lobby as hard against it as I can. There's just too much SPS out there. I want to Lancer for cards I replace on my land with soulbound cards. There you go. Yep. RFC land surfing is just being able to like hop onto anyone's plot that's not being used at the moment, and then you get like half the rewards and the owner gets the other half. Sorry, I was driving Stealth Fantasy Fun, but I haven't made money in it yet because the grind gets real. Given that isn't so bad. See, okay, and this is where I'm struggling with this whole thing, right? Like, Stella Fantasy is a phenomenal game. From everything that I've played about it so far, it's like very well polished. Like it's like a legit game, like a legit Web 2 AAA studio style game, right? It's not complete yet, but it just feels so nice. But Stever's comment, and I'm not trying to call you out, Stever, but it's like your comment is like, I haven't made money in it yet. When are we going to get to the point where people aren't worried about making money in a game? And that's not a trick question. Like, will we ever get there? I don't know, right? This is a brand new kind of field, a brand new concept of like being able to earn money in games, earn value in games. There's very few players out there, right? This is why I like to always get Darkest Knight's opinions on things, just because I call him the player's player, right? He just loves playing the game for the game itself. But when do we get more people like Darkest Knight in the game that they don't care as much about like the return from it? They just want to get cool stuff in the game and are willing to put more money in than they get out. And I know that I perpetuate a lot of that here because everything ends up being so ROI focused. But at the end of the day, it's like I've put in a good amount and I take a little ice cream money out every week. And I could probably look and see what's the ROI of that actually across my entire, asset or quote unquote investment in the game. But the truth is I don't really care. I mean, I do care, but I don't care as much, right? It's just like, all right, if I got some ice cream money to take out every week, then that's cool because I get a lot of value from like playing the game, being here, streaming with you guys, participating in tournaments, all that stuff. So it's going to be a spectrum, right? Not everybody's going to be someone like Darkest Knight, and not everybody's going to be a bot that's just extracting value. Everybody's going to be somewhere on that spectrum, but I think we do need to have it tilt a little bit towards people who are willing to throw more money into a game and sure, maybe take a little bit out every now and then without worrying about like, hey, what's the ROI? In fact, now that I've said it out loud, I'm actually curious to see, based on how much I take out every week and my overall investment, what is my ROI? Because that'd be interesting to find out. I believe any product as far as the bear market will explode in the bull. C-Sky, I think that this is dangerous thinking, because there were many projects that I saw that survived from 2017 and did not explode in the bull market. Granted, these weren't really gaming projects, so I don't know. Maybe gaming is different, but I don't think it is. Certain projects did well, right? They came back, especially a lot of like the L1s, but a lot of the other L1, like, I mean, Stellar, Lumens was one. IOTA. For anybody who's here in 2017, I'm listening to them all. IOTA was another one that I was following. Stellar, Lumens. Neo was the blockchain of 2017 when Ethereum popped off and everybody was like, oh man, Neo's the Chinese version of Ethereum. Yeah, that didn't survive. BNB came and took its place, or the BNB chain came and took its place. I'm trying to think of some other ones that were out there at the time. Gosh, there were a bunch of other ones that I can't. EOS was another one. So these were all layer ones in 2017, right? That had so much promise, had so much whatever. And then by 2021, they didn't pump like the rest of them. And instead, what did you have coming into the mix? You had new L1s like Terra Luna, like Avalanche, like Solana, like what's the other one? Cosmos, right? There were a bunch of new ones that came onto the scene. So this is why I think that there's a danger here, because if we just assume that making it to the bull market, and I know I've said this before, right? And it's my optimism as well. Assume just making it to the bull market is going to be good for us. Like I've started to follow a lot more, well, not games, but like gaming Web3, like gaming influencers or people on Twitter, just because it's easier for me to follow them and see where a lot of these projects are going and what they're talking about. And a lot of the things that I'll go into, like Twitter Spaces or whatever, I mean, there's a lot of games that are getting ready to launch. And I've said this before, people like shiny and new, right? SPS popped because it was shiny and new, and you needed it for Chaos Legion, and there was not much of it to go around. Now there's a lot. And if you believe that there's been enough utility made so that we have enough demand for SPS when the next bull market comes around, I think it's debatable. I think we need to burn a lot more SPS. And I'm hoping that land is going to be able to do that for us. Land surfing, they want that to be in 1.6, Dragon. So we're getting a little half step here. 1.5 should be out by the end of the month. And then 1.6 they want to do in like, I'm assuming sometime in October. They said 4 to 6 weeks. Do you know land surfing wasn't even on Nate's latest UX roadmap that was shared in the last town hall? You know what? I didn't even look at Nate's roadmap. But I'm not surprised. And I say that in a way where I'm just like, I've said this before. I think land surfing is just a concept right now. I mean, Hardpoint explained it really well in that interview, and people are talking about it, but I don't think that they've like actually gone through and started working on it yet. So I know that it's the hope, and Farpatron is talking about it, but I think it's all hands on deck for 1.5 right now and the stuff that they need to get there. They need a bull run in the game before Rebellion if they want to sell a lot. That's true. I want people to surf my land ASAP so they can clear it. You want them to clear it for you? All right, so it takes a bit of time in Stella. I sold 2 NFTs that I had farmed earlier this week. Very nice. Idea, the next run, Rebellion could have a monthly print. It could run for 8 months. Each print would be adjusted by the demand of packs. I liked Aggie's idea, actually, where it's just like we burn every single day if we haven't crossed a certain threshold. And I don't know if they want to do like a 9-month thing where he was talking about, but it's like do it for 9 months, right? 270 days. and however many packs you decide to set as the thing, you start burning on day one if we don't cross whatever the threshold is, right? 1 out of 270 multiplied by however much there is. So in the beginning, there won't be much burning, but once everybody's had their fill and sales slow, then the burning begins. Cool. I haven't tried to sell, but I know you're further ahead of me. All right. Splinterlands being top 5,000 fastest growing companies is huge. No one is talking about. Splinterlands was 250 on the list. You know, Icy Flow. I saw that. I think it's great. The thing is, we include the massive run up in 2021 on there. So I would actually like to know, and I'm not trying to take away from the accomplishment. I think it's great. But I would actually like to know what that ranking looks like if you start from 2022, or if you look at just 2022 onwards. Because a lot of companies have gone down. I'm not just trying to single out Splinterlands, but I want to see, Splinterlands had to cut half their team at the end of 2022. We know a bunch of other companies have either gone under or had layoffs. So where do those companies rank if you take the data starting from 2022 at the end of the bull run or the beginning of the bear market? How are they faring against all the companies that are on that list comparatively? I said Icy Flow, that's really big news. I was very surprised by that. Yep. AppSound, they have distributed SPS. It has a time limit of 65 months. Might as well distribute it and reward those who invest in the game. I get the argument, but I still don't like it. It's just like the rewards in the game should come from playing the game, not just holding assets. I think this also will incentivize a better sales planning from the team, where don't sell assets before the game is like ready to go, right? So because if you do it in that way where it's just like, hey, we're developing something, but we're not going to sell assets for it until the game is like a month away, the hype is all there. You avoid all the salt, and you don't go through this period where people just feel like they're holding on for forever. Like they get hyped about it, they want to buy it, and they know as soon as they buy it, they're going to have access to it to start using it in a couple of weeks or months. Because keep in mind, we are now a full year past the Genesis League Sports announcement and the Tower Defense announcement. Tower Defense packs went on sale in September of last year. The Genesis League Sports, I don't know when the sale happened for that, but the announcement was a year ago. All right. So we have an open beta for the GLG game, and you can feel however you want about that. But cold hard facts is that the game is not here yet, right? The game in its full playable form with earnings is not yet here. Tower Defense, similar boat. There's a beta that you can play, but the full game is not here yet. So I think that time frame needs to shrink down. And this is not just a Splinterlands thing. Like this is across gaming in general, right? I think if you're going to sell something, do it right before it's ready to launch. But the problem is that's not how crypto works. Crypto, you just pre-sell. So it's just part of the culture, right? ICOs and all that, like there's a promise and people buy into the promise, and then you have to trust that the team is going to actually deliver on that, right? You're buying in early on, ICO, early pack sales, whitelist for NFTs, and hope that the value is there. So I can't even hold it, to Splinterlands or whatever. It's just that's just the nature of the beast. But if I was gonna do it, I'd want to do it differently. I mean, shout out to Aggie and Weirdbeard for the amount of salt that they deal with. I think they handle it quite well, comparatively. I've seen other projects where like people are so antagonistic to their own community. But it's like, I wouldn't want to deal with that. It's just like surprise and delight. I've worked in customer service many years ago, but it's like a core part. It's just like surprise and delight. Under promise, over deliver. Tales from the Crypt play Stellar Fantasy. Yep. Not a Web3 game. If you just want an awesome game, Web 2 presents plenty of opportunity in almost any genre. Indeed. Good point. I still play Stellar every day. I don't care that I don't make it. Okay, cool. I wonder if we can make multi-choice proposals to the DAO instead of yes, no. I don't think that's coming anytime soon. But that'd be nice. Where's Splinterlands adverts at? Dude, it's a waste. There's no need for them to be spending money. I actually agree 100% with Chad or whoever's making the decisions now. There's no need to be spending money on anything advertising-wise. Nobody's buying. The best advertisement is going to be a green freaking candle. Which is why, going back to the SPS pump, right? SPS went from 1.5 cents at the beginning of July all the way up to almost 2.5 cents. That's a 40% pump, right? It's not a 2x, but it was significant for SPS. And my hope was that we would draw in some people. But problem is well, we did draw in some people. There are definitely some newer players that are coming and checking things out. It's just we couldn't really capitalize on that gain and have it be higher than 40%, even though we had really great things in place, right? You had at the beginning of July the SPS staking requirement that started the ball rolling. Then you had the modern human only format go live at the end of last month, and all of a sudden rewards were significantly higher in quantity, not necessarily value, but in quantity. Everybody was earning more SPS in modern, and that's still the case now, right? But can you imagine if land had hit by now or early August, as was like originally planned by the end of the age? I mean, that would have been a nice 1, 2, 3, right? All of a sudden, DEC gets sucked up off the marketplace. We start burning a little SPS, and it's like, hey, from here on out, like, you know, it's gonna be iterations on land 1.6, 1.7, and then follow that up with tower defense and maybe some tournaments and guilds and stuff like that. All the different changes that they want to do. It would have been a nice thing, but the longer 1.5 gets delayed out, the longer we see this dip once again. And you know, this is a 20% dip, which I'm not saying is Splinterlands' fault, because the entire market is going down, right? But we do have the ability to decouple, right? Bitcoin's been at 29,000 for who knows how long, but SPS did a 40% rise in last month. So we have the ability to decouple from the rest of the market if there is enough demand for it, if there is something going on. But the problem is we just don't have a significant significant enough player base to really pull that in. And that's kind of the video that I had last night, where I'm just like, we still got way too much SPS. I mean, 660 million is kind of like where everybody's just comfortable with it. We probably need, you know, we would need to like double the player base to eat through a lot of that liquid SPS. And not just the liquid SPS, but the 1 million getting printed every day. Sorry, I didn't explain myself well. By surviving, I may continue to develop and moving forward instead of just rolling over because of the bear market. Well, yeah, nobody wants them to roll over. Need an SPS halving to reduce the mint rate and extend rewards years beyond 5 years of the white paper. Didn't somebody put that in? Or maybe not. No, they put in the just to remove it. I wouldn't be opposed to that idea, ICFlow. I know you've been talking about it for a while. Can't we do a community like land surfing? I guess so, but that seems difficult to manage. What's going on, Big Dog Web? Good to have you here. Don't remember hearing that idea from Agro, maybe Matt, but it seems nice. Oh, are you talking about land surfing? It was in the People's Guild podcast. Phenomenal interviewers. Big Jangles over there running the podcast. So you should go check it out with Hardpoint. That was the interview where he talked at length about it. I wonder if land would be out if they didn't let people go. Not saying they were wrong to do that. No, I don't think so. I mean, I don't know, maybe. Nate keeps talking about how the fact that creative was gutted, and it seems like creative is the one holding things up, or UX UI. Playing and acquiring assets for the win. Research tokens, cough cough. All right, I'm kind of glad I ducked my enthusiasm for time. Yeah, but see, this is what I'm talking about. Like, isn't it sad that you had to do that? I don't know. What's going on, Alicios? Here's the okay. This to me is the danger zone. Okay, and it's not just you, Dragon, and I'm not trying to call you out specifically, but what do people talk about as like the most dangerous thing for a project, or really like anything in life? If you love it or you hate it, it means you're passionate about it. You feel one way. But apathy, when people just don't care anymore, that's a dangerous thing. It's a dangerous thing. So you ducked your enthusiasm for it. I know that's maybe not quite the same thing, but we've definitely hit a rough patch with Splinterlands this summer, which I was hoping that, the recent launches from the team, which have been fantastic, right? SPS Staking and Modern Human would start to bring back some of those players, but I haven't seen them come. I haven't seen them come back. We've seen some new players come on board, which is great, but I was hoping we'd be able to bring back some of the old. What's going on, Alicios? Good to have you here. Get your point of view. Should be for playing the game. Hot agree or disagree, but let's remember that people are putting money on a game that it's not like a $60 game from Blizzard. But here's the thing. Can you enjoy this game by paying $65? Is bronze fun enough to play in? I'm asking genuinely. And you may think that I'm wrong, but I think it is. I think if somebody comes in and throws $65 at the game, grabs a couple of cards or rents cards and plays in bronze, just starts moving up the ladder there and just participating. Again, what we lack, unfortunately, is ways for people to just have a casual relationship with the game. Just because everything is so ROI focused. But this is kind of like what I want to do with GLX, for example. I only spent a couple of bucks buying some cards, and if I don't get in and play and do all my energy or whatever, like, I'm not really gonna care, right? Like, it's just and again, once the game goes live. But yeah, I mean, when the game goes live, if it's fun and enjoyable and I can play it at the lower levels and play here with people on stream and all that, like, great. Like, do I want to be like having a top tier team and all that? No, not as much. I think I like Splinterlands more, at least at this point. But it all just depends on what we do and how the type of people we can draw in. Even those games with 1,000 developers, not a 150 dev team, do pre-sales and stuff like that to get money to develop stuff. That's true. The most effective advertiser for sure, Major Green Candle. I still don't understand why Web3 should only be a good moneymaker with a good economy and have a crappy game. I've seen a lot of people recently that we don't care if it's bad, so long as it pays. That's the problem, man. I don't get it. Why can't we have both? We can. See, here's the thing. I genuinely believe. I genuinely believe whoever can create the Fortnite of Web3 will absolutely dominate. And I don't know who's out there trying to make it. I don't think Epic's going to change their business model because right now they get a lot. But it's like, if you could create the Fortnite of Web3 where you are just selling cosmetic items and it's about the game, it's about the experience, it's about people having fun. But when you sell X item or Y item, you sell it with only that amount of total thing. Like, let's say it's a skin, right? Or a axe, or no, what is it called? I don't know. I forgot the things. Let's say it's a skin, all right? You sell that amount, it goes live on a certain day, and then that's it. Or to Gathering the Magic's point, I think it was Gathering the Magic who I was talking with, or maybe it's just available for a week, and whoever wants to come in and buy it, they can buy it. And then after it's done, it's gone. Now, here's the thing. What Fortnite and Epic Games likes to do is 6 weeks later, maybe there's a new player base, maybe there's returning player base I hadn't played in a while, they put it back in the store and people go in and buy it. But I think that if they switch their model and say, all right, hey, we're only going to make, I don't know, 500,000 of these. I don't know how many people play Fortnite, but we're only going to make like 100,000 of these. Put it out into the marketplace, and then have an internal marketplace, internal P2P marketplace, similar to what Splinterlands has, where they get a 5% cut every time that thing switches hands. Dude, come on. Like, are you kidding me? Like, people will be buying and selling skins all over the place. Especially if they do limited edition skins that you can only get for winning a certain thing. See, here's the value of this, right? Fortnite could go out and create a tournament where the top winner or the top 10 winners of a thing, they get an exclusive skin. And then they can go and sell that skin if they want to. And while they didn't have to sell the reward, they also didn't need to print, a token out of thin air. They created something that has value, something that people want, and they're going to get residual royalties from it every time it changes hands. Now, maybe it doesn't change hands as much because once it gets to someone who's like, yeah, I'm never going to sell, then that's fine. But you don't have to, the idea that you need to like print tokens out of thin air as the rewards for a game, I think is something that we need to move beyond. If the game has good enough rewards and people play it for its own merit, and because they want to compete with their friends and they want to flex on their friends, that's what we've been doing with gaming for the last however many decades, right? Like, you go back to the arcade style games. People would go to the arcade and they would put in an endless amount of quarters just so that they could get Pac-Man and be on the top leaderboard and be right above their friend, right? Well, they weren't earning money from that. They weren't getting anything. There was no ROI. But that is the core of gaming, and that's something that needs to be tapped into. And we only see small glimpses of that here, right? With the leaderboard for the Great Burning, for example, was a way to do it. But there's so many ways. There are so many ways in which Splinterlands could make these just minor tweaks, add in small certain things that make it so that when I'm hanging out with Darkest Night, or I'm hanging out with Virus, or I'm hanging out with whoever, I'm just like, hey, I got more champion points than you, or hey, I won this tournament more than you, right? Like, what you gonna do? And next time Virus logs in, or next time I log in, it's like, oh, I gotta make sure that I join that tournament. I gotta make sure I go burn some DEC, right? It's just that's the mentality that we need to reach. But it's just like everything that's coming out needs to have a certain kind of value. I don't know. It's just my thought. I was looking at the Illuvian stream yesterday, and the game is super polished AAA game while having good future potential on earnings. Yeah. I mean, Illuvium looks great. It's just, how are they going to do the earnings? I was having a conversation yesterday where I'm just like, it's essentially what I just told you guys. We just need a game that people actually want to play with their friends, where, things have value and you can earn. Again, Fortnite of Web3. Somebody make it. Somebody makes it. It's to me, that's there's no competing with it. Then, if Fortnite pivoted, Epic Games pivoted, like it would be game over. Or if they made a Web3 version only, it would be game over. Like every other, like how many people play Fortnite or Apex Legends or Call of Duty, whatever it is you want to talk about. But Fortnite just became such a big part of the culture. And just imagine, here's my prediction for your next bull run. Okay, just imagine with how much of the mainstream attention crypto got in 2021, there will be a game out there that does this. There will be a Fortnite style game out there that will get celebrities to come and endorse, or be a skin, or have some kind of pop culture relevance. All right. Will it be Illuvium? I don't know. Right. I'll be honest, I love Splinterlands. I don't know if they have the type of game that's going to be a mass appeal, right? I think there's going to be some kind of shooter out there, or some kind of RPG, or some kind of whatever arcade style game that's out there that is going to have that mass appeal, where kids are going to look at it and be like, oh, holy crap, like this rapper I know is doing a deal to get a skin like in this game, and I can go play for free, and I can earn other skins, and hey, those skins have value, and like I want to get it, my friend doesn't have it, right? Like that's going to be where we're at. So, you see games like Illuvium that have that AAA polish. That's not going to be the only one. There's a lot of games coming out with some real AAA polish. And keep in mind, we could still be 2 years away from the bull run, or a year and a half away from the bull run. Bull run may not start or really get into it until 2025. So, how long does it take to create a game? I'm sure a decent amount of time, but a year and a half isn't a small chunk of time either. Imagine this thing launches in January of 2025. Bitcoin's, starting to flirt with some new all-time highs. And all of a sudden you can go in and there's a game that's like essentially getting every, skins with every major artist and celebrity and athlete. That's it. That's going to be the one. All right. Anyone getting a Ganklet? I have 3 plots. I would like to be in there. Walking Keys, I know, is in there. As much as I love and am bullish on SL land release and future features, we can be as patient as we want, but we're not here as good parent accepting our kids making mistakes when they late for school. It's an investment with big money involved, and if stuff takes too long or don't get better fast enough, people move to the next best thing. Yeah, I mean, people have already moved on. A lot of big names have moved on. And I always ask, I'm like, where are you going? Because I'm just curious. I want vouchers. I keep buying them. Alex, thank you for buying my vouchers. See, I agree. Bronze is fun to play in now, especially if you start working through the soulbound cards and start getting gladiators. Bronze is fun. We need to start pushing that. Because let's be honest, I do enjoy a few games of cards here and there, but this will never be Hearthstone or MTG. We're light years behind on how fun the game will be. Right now, too niche. I'm curious to see what ideas Weirbeard has for new game modes. I think that could add some value, but a lot of it, like I said earlier, needs to come down to like gamifying it with your friends. I think it's fun. I think it's amazing now that I can jump into ranked play in Modern and I recognize like half the names that I see, whereas before I didn't recognize anybody. I didn't care who I was playing. It's just, I knew that most of the time it was going to be a bot. So the fact that I can recognize names now, we need to gamify that even further and say like, I would love, here's a simple thing. Can I get a running tab on all of the ranked games I've played against another person? Not challenges, but ranked games against another player. Something like that just would be really cool. It's just you go in, you see that player, and then it shows you how many times you've beat them in ranked and how many times they've beat you in ranked. Just a little thing, but one of those areas in which it's like, I know, does it add value to the game? Maybe not necessarily. From a financial standpoint, but it adds value from like an entertainment and engagement, right? Like if I knew how many, like I've played Darkest Night a couple times, I've played Virus a couple times. They're usually champ level players, right? But there's a bunch of people in Diamond that I come up against all the time. And if I could get a global, not leaderboard, but like a lifetime win-loss that I get to see against those, I mean, they've beaten me more than whatever, but it's just like, how many times do we have comments in here where it's just like, oh yeah, you beat me in this other game. Or you beat me in a recent like matchup between us, and it's like, oh well, hey, I'm still up like 4-1 or whatever, like stuff like that would just add so much value to the communication and engagement around it. All right, $10 bronze account is more fun than my main account. Challenging to make every win penny count. Indeed. Okay, so right now, after bots were nerfed in bronze, yes, I would say bronze is much more fun. Yeah, agreed. I've been messing around with Unity for a few days, and I think I can create a better Web3 game using ChatGPT and AI-generated graphics. Hey, Alicios, make it then. Make it. I mean, I want to be supportive of anybody that's trying to make a game out there. I would love to make one myself. Just posted this on a LAN Discord server. What did you post? All right, I think a game like Game of War, Fire Age would be something that would do really well for Web3, where you can put utility to NFT crypto and not just skins. That's another one. I never played Game of War. So I was thinking of making, but figured it would take too much time to maintain. Well, I mean, Virus, you make it good, and that'll be what you spend all your time on. It's also going to make you super rich. To a region holder that said he was only prepared for using 10% of his plots. I have some extra gold foils. If I delegate them to you, you could put them on an extra plot. Well, they wouldn't just delegate them to you. You'd have to send them to you. People in those types of games want to spend beyond the game initial price to get an edge. Yeah. There's some Fortnite-like crypto games. Ooh, Skyer. Which ones? Please tell me. I will go check them out right after this. Same with a good MMORPG. If one can come out as a Web3 AAA, where they finally figured out a way to create a non-inflationary economy that works, I'm gone from anything else and move everything there. Well, again, it has to capture the essence of like Web 2 gaming in a way. And I know some people don't like that, but it's just what it is. It has to capture the essence of Web 2 gaming, where people want to play the game because it's fun. I'm wondering, why has SPL not released new card skins yet? It's easy money for them. I don't know. I think we've heard a lot of different reasons. But I'll say that the reason right now is lane 1.5. I said to chat about collaborating with Henry Cavill. He's an avid gamer. He may even do it for free, but no, hey Waka. What do you mean Waka? I mean, yeah, Henry Cavill would be cool. But here's the thing, like, what kind of games does Henry Cavill play? Is Splinterlands going to be up his alley? That's why SL needs to hire up and stop wasting time and realize they are in a race, or they are currently ahead in terms of the economy, and if their economy works, everyone will copy it with new better. Yeah. Illuvium has a thought out economic cycle. It will be flawless from the start. I highly doubt it. Oh, interesting. Very bullish on Illuvium. After sound, just put them in MT account. I will pay you an SPS 71 a day. And I will send you the SPS. Wait, what are we talking about? Alex, what are we talking about here? What do you need from me? Oh, vouchers? Regarding the future of SL, it can be incredible in the future if they don't deliver fast enough that you can't have the best idea in the world without a proper, bigger team. Yeah, well, you know what the saying is, right? Like, ideas are a dime a dozen. Everybody's got ideas. It's execution that matters. So I think we all have very much bought into the idea of what Splinterlands is doing, and I mean I like it. I think that there's a lot of value and potential here, but it does come down to execution. And to your point, if there's a very highly competent and aggressive team out there that wants to copy it or create something similar and does it better, it comes down to execution. For me, it is the community weekly live streams from the team. They have kept me in SPL since. Yes, this is a huge part, which is why I was very disappointed when they were going to go to the bi-weekly town halls. But I've been happy with the town squares. I think it's enough of a touch point. So as long as we keep on developing and moving forward, I believe in the system. Agreed. Content every 3 months, like a big MMO out there. They are just too slow to keep the hype up and keep us busy in game. Land will come out. We're hyped right now, but I will give it 2 weeks and everyone's bored and claims 2.0 since there's not enough to do. Okay, so that's essentially what happened after Land 1.0. All right, it was hot for like a couple of minutes, and then by mid-April, everyone's just like, okay, what's next? Like, all I can do is look at my land and listen to it. All right, what else is there to do? I don't think that's the case with 1.5. I think there will be a lot of gamification that's going to take several weeks, maybe even a couple months, in order to really refine the process. And hopefully, by the time people refine the process, we do get 1.6, which adds in a couple of other wrinkles. All right. Good evening, Osku. Good to see you. All right. Your idea about having stats against individual players bring out a lot of fun to the game. I asked for that a long time ago, but I was told it takes too much server power to collect that data. Really? Okay. Don't get me wrong. As a human with empathy, I do cheer for the SL team and thank them for their hard work. As a business perspective, this is just unacceptable current delivery speed for the good company asset valuation. Yeah, no, hey, I get where you're coming from. Like, this is incredible. This is an incredibly hard time for a lot of companies, and I don't think SPL is included or excluded from that. So, for whatever reason it was, they let go of a bunch of people at the end of last year. And it's like this whole year, I don't know, creating a game with one hand tied behind your back. Henry Cavill loves Warhammer, not a stretch to get to Splinterlands. We're going to Waka. I meant to say we didn't get Henry. Oh, we got Waka. Send me a voucher every day. I will send you SPS day 1 for 8. What's the exchange rate here? SPS is less than vouchers. How about this? When vouchers get to 2 cents, then we'll just start trading equally. SPS for voucher. Sound good? 1 SPS for 1 voucher. Town squares feel more like fireside chats. Yeah, I do enjoy the format. And I like the fact that people can go on there and talk. From a pace perspective, regarding competition, Solid Fantasy has been out 4 months and will be launching their full mobile version of their game in 2 weeks. Well, so here's the thing, Tails. How much of this was done before the actual game was launched, right? This is kind of what I talk about, where it's just have the stuff ready to go ahead of time. Fortnite, check out Superior. Kind of not there yet. My Pet Hooligan. I'm looking for other ones, but can't remember the names. Check Stash's Discord channel. It's not my type of game. Okay. All right. And these are not JPEGs bashing into each other. Oh, yeah. I would bet the income for a Web 2 studio is around 1/5 the income for a Web 3 studio. Wait, you think that Web 2 makes less? I think you mean the opposite, right, Virus? Regarding releasing content, Blizz and other work for 2 years on bringing new expansion. People play, eat those in a few weeks, and move to another game. True, but when those expansions come out, they make a crap ton of money that gives them, the resources to survive the next couple of years. Well, sorry, not just survive, but thrive the next couple of years. I love your History Battles idea. This needs a vote. It's a guaranteed pass. Yeah, I mean, again, it's there's a lot of ideas out there, a lot of fantastic ideas. It's just, can they do it, and is it a priority? Okay, yeah, Virus, I'm with you on that then. Did you play tabletop Warhammer? Yeah, as long as we can choose to look at it after the bot ban. Oh, actually, that's a good point, Stever. Maybe it should just be... See, if they want to save on this, then just modern battles starting after July, or we can even say August of 2020. You know what? Can somebody scrape the blockchain data for that? And just create a service that captures all of that? Something I don't know if Splinter Coach does that, but if they did, that'd be worth investing into. How many times have you bought a $75 AAA game, got home, and binged it like 40 to 100 hours, and then what's next? The current pace we have with SL simply can't be enough to feed a serious game need for content. What's up, Dice12? Yeah, Commander Chaos. But Commander Chaos could. I just don't know how much something like that costs to run at an infrastructure. And then, of course, you'd want to make sure that it's not just the expenses, but there's some kind of compensation for it. Naseem Ansari. Hey, which common land buy to write? Well, Naseem, first of all, welcome to the channel. I don't think we've ever spoken before. So I'm just curious if you're new to the channel, if you're new to the game, or if you're new to just chatting on the channel. Yeah, think of it like this. Hopium Morning. Last bull run, the best games were pixelized JPEGs hitting each other. That is not what we are seeing right now. Well, Skyer, this is not Hopium. I mean, if you're talking about this in the context of Splinterlands, then it's not Hopium, because you're absolutely right. We're seeing other games right now that are very well polished. We need more. We need SPS inks more. Burn it all. Dawn Keep. Just for the love of SPL, could we not support it? Just for the love of SPL, could we not support it and be loyal fans? Dawn Keep, I don't know what you mean by this. Are you saying to just blindly support and not say anything bad? Because I think you're in the wrong place. This is the FUD only stream. We need some FUD. Sorry, when I say FUD only, it wasn't meant to be. I actually did not come in being like FUD Splinterlands. It was FUD for the market, because the market's down. Because I saw it was just a red candle day yesterday, and I was like, it's time for some FUD. So if we go back to macro level, I don't know. There's a lot of things that I've been following. I still am nervous about banks here in the U.S. It seems as though we're going to hit a major recession very soon. No soft landing. Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough time. I really think SL will thrive, but a lot of big gaming companies back in 2000 tried to be the best new thing and spent too long producing their game. Red Candle Day are the days I like more. Fair enough. They were 3 generation of graphics behind everybody else. Non-SPL related. Are you following Aliens? What does that mean? Is that a game? Or like, are you following... Are we talking about real life aliens? Because the conspiracy theory stream is in 2 days. Also, we're not talking about aliens that one. We did enough in the last one. Tails, since we're talking FUD, can we talk part price? Is this following Rising Star's footsteps? Yeah, I mean, again, Tails, you called it out since the beginning. I've been saying something similar, where it's just there's nothing like part is essentially going to become worthless outside of the game, and it's only going to become worth like it'll only have worth within the game. So the problem that I'm seeing here, and this is why I made that video on leveling up, right, and why I'm trying to level up as quickly as I can, is because it's time based, right? It shows your kind of proof of time within the game that you've been around and are leveling up. But at some point, this is going to go so low. There's going to be so many zeros in front of it that somebody's going to be able to come in, pay $1, and essentially have burn as much part as like someone in the top 100. And you're seeing the same thing with Scrap too, right? For TerraCore, because I do play that game as well. But it's like I think people are under the false assumption that part can be saved. And I'm not seeing how. If anything, I think part should be left. The thing is, when something's like infinitely inflationary like this, the problem is you're going to have to leave part and essentially let it trend to zero. But that means that anybody that can come in has access to burning however much, which means the game itself needs to shift to a more time-based thing, right? So that somebody just can't come in day one, spend $1 and then have as much part burned as Angry Chipmunk, right? So there needs to be other like time-based things that require actual time, right? Sure, you can use part to maybe speed certain things up, but it can't like completely cut it out. But to me, there will never be a demand for part because, there will never be a demand for part that pushes it back up to stupidly high numbers, unless new players are coming into the game en masse. But just the design of it is, yeah. So I guess that's what Shard is for, but Shard is falling too. personally, I wouldn't have designed it this way. I would have done everything under part. I would have been releasing new cosmetics the way that Yixin was doing, and charging part for all of those, so that there's constant utility for part. People can either go get the cosmetic or they can choose to upgrade their thing. There could be other cool like game modes or different things that could use part. It's just, yeah. But that's how the cookie crumbles. I haven't said that in a long time. Jeez. All right. Aren't all games just pixels hitting other pixels? True. Most, yeah. Smoke and mirrors of the U.S. economy is ending soon, but I will save that for the conspiracy stream. Yeah. Well, I'm with you on that. I've been following a lot of the BRICS news. I mean, inflation, like this is going to be a whole decade of inflation. We're still printing a lot of money, even if we're doing it secretly. Oh, RFC literal alien news. Yes, I've been following the whole UFO stuff. I did tune in for a little bit of the testifying that they had. Yeah, I'm following it. I don't know what's real and what's not, but in true X-Files fashion, I want to believe. I definitely think something is possible, but I don't think it's like in the way that we're all well, we're gonna get into it now, but it's like I don't think that aliens are like walking among us. That would just be strange, and if they were, that'd just be weird. But I think the farthest that I'll go in terms of like a 90%, 95% conviction rate in terms of like what I believe, and I think I said this on the conspiracy theory stream, is if I wouldn't be surprised if something crash landed here 60 years ago and the government's holding on to it, but it doesn't work and we don't know what it does. It's just we know that we didn't make it. Humans didn't make it, right? And best example I can give is like we send out probes to all these different other not galaxies, but other parts of the solar system, galaxy, whatever it is. Like just imagine in 10,000, 15,000 years, that probe is floating through space, and then, or a satellite that got pushed out of orbit or whatever, or some space junk that's just flying around space. It crashes into and burns through the atmosphere and crashes into some other planet. And it's like 10,000 years later, right? Humans may not even be around anymore, but it's just like it's there now. And whatever life might exist on that planet is looking at it and being like, we don't know what this does. We don't know where it came from. We just know it's not ours. So, don't get me wrong. I love sci-fi. Faster than light travel sounds awesome. Going through wormholes and all that is cool, but we're not at a place where we can even like conceive of those ideas conceptually. So it's like maybe there was some civilization 100,000 years ago, 1,000,000 years ago, that sent out a bunch of probes like we did, and one just happened to crash land here in Roswell in the 1940s, and the government's just been holding on to that and being like, yeah, well, we don't know what it is. It's just there, right? So if we play Splinterlands for long, I don't feel like quitting and selling my assets. Yeah, I don't think anybody's quitting and selling their assets. I'm not. So before anybody like takes us the wrong way, I'm here for the long run. Keeps notified on the alien stream. Well, maybe we'll do another conspiracy alien stream. The one on Saturday is going to be specifically focused on JFK and MK Ultra. Well, you do have to keep an Area 51, so every time maybe the king alien. There you go. Go is Cancer. That's a little harsh. Historically, it's a bad time for crypto, but the two things that can change are the grayscale case and Bitcoin ETF. Man, wouldn't it be great if we got the grayscale thing later this month, and then they started approving the Bitcoin ETF in like October or whenever the next date is? Now, Splinterlands, non-Splinterlands, since your conspiracy stream, this has all been on my brain. Nice. Newcomer joined today. Pay. Yeah, I don't like that either. That somebody can come in and pay like a fraction to get to the same level. That's why it's like it's got to be time based. But I don't know. I haven't heard any updates from Yixin. I don't know if people have been following what's going on there. I haven't been. Not saying that it's bad. It's just I haven't heard anything. I haven't seen any updates. I think part just goes to help show how much work SPL has to put to keep things going as long as they have. Yeah, that's one way to look at it. Well, yeah, but all of us had a shot to ROI on both those games. The bigger issue with both is we got to ROI quick, then free roll from there. We might magnet tinfoil hat people to play SPL with your non-human stream. With SPL, I'm starting to be more liquid to be able to get on certain opportunities. Nice. Okay. You just bought some part. There you go. Somebody's buying. No idea how a game with that model can ever have a token go up long term. Yeah. So the thing is, it's just infinitely printed, and it's printed higher and higher the more people progress in the game. So the weird thing is that, like, all right, I've burned all this part, right? I've burned, I don't know, several thousand part to be at 700 on the leaderboard. If part goes up, like if it spikes for any reason, the part that I had was burned. So I can't, like, it's like I can't like unstake it and then go sell it. But I guess I'm earning more part. So it's like a weird, just kind of like circular thing that's happening there. I can take that part and then start to sell it. But I don't know. I bought Sharsu because Unimaster's post about them releasing a new boss fight system. For Go, I like the game, I enjoy it, but I fear the economy is really broken. Yeah, I mean, hey, look, I still do my every 8 hours, like every 12 hours now that I go and, you know, claim my stuff. USD equal parts price in 5 years. Purchasing power is definitely going away. More expensive part shard burns needed, like insane big ones. That will happen with guilds. Yeah, maybe. The sad part is the dollar's going up versus other fiat. Well, here's the thing. So the strongest currency, the strongest fiat currency will always win compared to the others, right? As people in other countries with failing currencies, with weaker fiat currencies, start to realize that their currency is failing, they will flee to ones they believe are stronger. Now, there's a small, tiny portion of people that look at Bitcoin and realize that there's value there. But for the rest of them to be able to transact in a regular day-to-day, USD is still the best fiat to go to, right? Maybe pounds, or maybe euros, maybe even Chinese currency, renminbi, right? But for the most part, it's gonna be stronger relative to the other tokens. That's what they are, relative to the other currencies, because there's buy pressure on the dollar. People are exiting their token. Oh God, I keep saying that. They're exiting their currencies and buying, right? So actually, this is the wonderful thing that I feel like crypto really taught me, right? It made me realize the strength of the dollar and how that whole thing works. Because what do people end up doing, right? They will go and they'll speculate on a shitcoin like whatever, right? Maybe even, sorry, I didn't mean to lead into SPS with this. Sorry, no shitcoin, but I'm just saying that they'll go into an altcoin. That was the Bitcoin Max in me talking. They will go into an altcoin and they will buy that altcoin, write it up, and then sell it, right? Sell it back into Bitcoin. Or, as what we're seeing now in a bear market, Bitcoin dominance is starting to rise again, meaning that people are selling out of their failing tokens and going back into the one true king, Bitcoin. Same thing happens at the macro level with government currencies, fiat currencies. A lot of these currencies, like, they're just being printed endlessly. And you see, was it Argentina, Turkey, like all these countries that are just, you know, their currencies are debasing so fast that most of the people there, they're not tech savvy, they're not crypto, you know, native, so they're buying US dollars. So they're selling their currency and they're putting buy pressure on the US dollar. So in relative terms, USD is going to go up, strength of the dollar goes up, but the rest of the world is suffering. So at some point, though, we will see what we will see if, like, the masses turn to Bitcoin, and if that ends up being, you know, the true global currency that I think a lot of people believe that it will be. One of my favorite kind of concepts when it comes to Bitcoin and like the US dollar is the whole narrative around Bitcoin as a store of value. And so when you think about it, yeah, Bitcoin has gone from less than a penny all the way up to $30,000. And so you can look at it as Bitcoin is appreciating in value, which a big part of that is the case, right? Network adoption is going to appreciate its value. But I actually like looking at it from the opposite way, where Bitcoin is just storing value and the US dollar and basically every other fiat currency out there is failing against the US, against Bitcoin, right? They're all essentially depreciating or declining in value when compared to Bitcoin, right? And it's easy to think about that from a token standpoint, right? When you compare Bitcoin to like SPS, right? So when SPS was at $1, you could buy more Bitcoin for each SPS you spent. But as SPS jumps down to a penny or 2 pennies, you need to spend a lot more SPS per Bitcoin that you buy. So that's just kind of how I'm seeing the US dollar play out, and really every other fiat currency out there. So until somebody like decides to back their currency with gold, or we go to a full Bitcoin standard, we're just going to see this thing continue to fall. New member slots take a lot of tokens. Yeah, but new member slots means we need to have more players coming in. It's crazy that we were inflated so much and are still strong. Yeah, well, because Stever, one of my favorite stats is the fact that 70% of US dollars reside outside of the US. So whenever we print money, the inflation is felt, 70% of the inflation is felt by the rest of the world, not here in the US. Plus, our technology is just very highly deflationary. So therefore, we don't feel it as much. We have much better travel, shipping, services, all that stuff, right, for goods. And the other thing that I've heard is that we are in a macro or a global manufacturing recession. If you look at the data, we are technically in a global manufacturing recession from China all the way here to the US. The reason that the US economy is still so strong is because we are heavily reliant on a service-based economy. So services have been keeping us up for much longer, but we'll probably start to see a slowdown in that as well. Alex is an alien. Elicio's, yeah, see, wake me up when September ends. That's just how Bitcoin is in September. I often think we're the aliens that came here, but the history of that is, yeah, maybe. Men in Black is a documentary. Oh, man. Sounds like a movie plot. Yep. All right. Well, what if all those lights in the sky are just lens flares bleeding through our dimension? Maybe. Hive is dumping again? Let's see. Oh, I just saw your new message. Everything is dumping. Oh, yeah. Bitcoin's on at 27. Here we go. Here we go. Somebody needs to make like a Mario. I should be working, but the stream is too interesting. Oh, well, thanks for being here, Skyer. We're going to wrap up soon. We're close to the 15 or the 2-hour mark. It's a shame there's only 15 likes. People pimp. Oh, well, thank you for that. If you guys don't mind. Best fiat until Russian and friends create their new money backed by gold. Then it's game over on the USD. And then World War III, sadly. Fun FUD. Yeah, God, I hate to go down this road, but it's. I had this conversation with my parents recently, and I'm not a doomer. I'm actually very optimistic when it comes to humanity, right? Like even when it comes to like climate change and society and all that, like I genuinely think the world today is a better place to live in than it was like 100 years ago or even 50 years ago, right? Sure, it's not perfect, but I do think that humanity is evolving in a very positive way, and I think that we have plenty more to go, and it's exciting. But that being said, when I think about like where the chess pieces are moving to from like a global scale here, you see a lot of the conflicts that are happening, US, Ukraine, Russia, that's literally a hot, or a physical conflict. Then you have a lot of the economic conflict that's going on, BRICS, China. I look at that and, we talk about you mentioned World War III, and it's like, okay, well, when do we get to a point where the combat or the conflict becomes violent and physical, and in a position where countries are forced to take sides, that we do get an actual World War III? And I don't, my hope is that nobody's going to be stupid enough to use nukes, but there's been plenty of conflicts worldwide that have happened between World War II, when the last nuke was dropped, and now, right? None of them have required nukes. So my question is, when do we get to that point where countries are forced to pick a side, or abstain and stay away, or whatever the case is, and we do get into some kind of physical conflict? And it's like I brought that idea to my parents, right? And we were just having a fun conversation. I don't know why World War III is a fun conversation with my parents, but they're very interesting people. So, and we love to talk about hypotheticals. And it's just for them, they're like, oh no, that would never happen. That would never happen, right? And I'm just like, you know what? I bet you in 1913, if somebody was just the whole world is going to be at war, right? But a year before World War I, there would have been a bunch of people saying, it can't happen, right? And then the same thing before World War II. A bunch of people would have been saying, nah, that can't happen. So I just everybody's too comfortable right now. And I'm not saying to be a prepper and be a doomer, or doom and gloom. I'm just saying the fact that so many people out there, and maybe they're just saying it to be honest, not to be honest, but they're just saying it to be casual, and because they just whatever, to keep an easy conversation. I just think, but I still think too many people out there believe terrible things can't happen. Again, go back to 2019 and say, hey, we're going to be in a global pandemic that's going to kill 7+ million people, and you're going to shut down entire economies around the world, entire countries around the world. People would have said it can't happen, right? God, people were saying that. Oh, I remember this. Going back to my parents, I remember we were seeing what was going on in Greece early on in the pandemic. Was it Greece or Italy? Sorry. And I remember seeing a video or seeing a tweet and all this stuff. And someone said, someone was quoted there saying if you don't believe in this can happen in the US, it's happening in Italy. People are dying in hospitals. They're dying in their homes, whatever. It's happening in Italy. If you don't believe this can happen in the US, you're fooling yourself, right? And this was January, February of 2020. And I saw that, and that was the first time I was like, oh shoot, okay, this is real. I went and I bought a bunch of food, and I called my parents, and I was like, you guys should do the same thing. And once again, they told me it won't happen here in the US. It can't happen here in the US, right? So it's just, so many things have happened in the world over the last couple of years that have just made me feel like you can't keep anything out. You can't throw anything out of the box. Everything should be on the table. Yeah, you could. I'm not saying to live your life in fear, but or to be a prepper. Although Darkest Night will tell you to be a prepper, but it's just to get that vocabulary out of your head, where it's just it can never happen. No, it absolutely can happen, and we've seen it happen time and time again. People don't change, right? Humanity still succumbs to the same things, and we still go through the same whatever. But sorry, I'm on a weird soapbox right now, so hopefully that's still interesting for you guys. All right, sorry, at least that was Alicios's fault for getting me on the World War III train. All right, so just going through the white paper, not much here. Really kind of surprised how little information is on the white paper. What are we talking about? Is this the Splinterlands white paper? BRICS is coming out with a gold-backed currency. Many countries are already trading oil outside the US dollar. It's happening. It's happening right now. There's 40 countries that are applying to be part of BRICS, aren't they? And BRICS is bigger than, I don't know, one of the G7, G9, something like that. Our bond sales are going no bid, so we're buying our own bonds. Yeah. People don't think hyperinflation can happen in the US. And I'm like, dude, it's happening in other countries. Just to think that it won't ever happen, that it's impossible to happen. Again, I'm not saying that I want it. I'm not saying that it's going to happen tomorrow. I'm just saying it's incredibly naive to say never. We need to stop using central bank fiat currencies and have mass adoption of Monero. Bitcoin can be tracked and traced. We need privacy adoption. I wonder if some of the L2s on Bitcoin will be able to solve that, Liberty Guy, especially Lightning. But Monero's, I don't have anything against Monero. I think Monero is actually fine. There's like different levels of Bitcoin maxi. There's like, Bitcoin only, and then like right below that there's like Bitcoin, and Monero's okay too. Never sell your accumulated Bitcoin. Oh, everything is dumping. Okay, yeah. So we need interest rates to come down so people can't earn 5% on T-bills and 4. Yeah. People won't buy risky stuff when you can do that. True. But inflation, real inflation is still higher than 5%. Gregory Levenfield, what's going on? World War III happens when the USA strike because they can't accept to be number 2 in the world. Ego trip since it was created. Like when we go on strike or when we strike someone else? The issue with the World War is that if you are about to lose a war, you won't look at using nukes as stupid because you won't care. That's true. That's true. But here, okay, so here's the difference. A different thing. A difference between World War III and World War II. And again, I'm just talking hypothetically here, right? To your point, Steve, you're absolutely right. Maybe we are no longer in the place where countries will be completely conquered, right? They will just be beaten into submission. So it's like there won't be this thing where, a country is like, essentially wiped off the map because they're just conquered and assimilated into a new country. Because then, yes, at that point, if that country has nukes, then you're absolutely right. They wouldn't care and will go to use them. But it's like the negotiating table will always be an appealing option because it's like, man, if you're losing, but you don't want to die, right? And you don't want to go into like nuclear holocaust or whatever, like then you're willing to go to the negotiation table. At least that's my hope, that there'll be rational actors out there. USA and Canada have been the West for a long time, and we're soft and used to good and safe, peaceful time. And sooner or later, people will get tired of this and want their piece of the pie. Yeah. Well, you know what? I do agree that people in the US, maybe you can say the West in general, I just don't think they have any idea how the rest of the world like lives. It's so cushiony here. And I'm not trying to throw shade on the rest of the world. I'm just saying, like, there's some it's crazy that we could have like these top of the line, state of the art, luxury style facilities here in the US, and there's people in the same time, in the same on the same planet, right? In the same year, day, month, that are like living on $2 a day and in a small, like, tiny hut somewhere with no internet, no electricity. If a country or leaders on the brink of annihilation with no way out and have access, yeah. Actually, I think humanity is devolving. Just watch the movie Idiocracy. Fun fact: the U.S. war machine is responsible for over 75 conflicts since World War II. Yeah. Well, we won't get into politics, but I don't like the war machine, the U.S. war machine, and I really am hopeful that we have some candidates on both sides of the aisle that are very much anti-war. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst. That's a good way to do it. He went to Argentina. Who are we talking about? One of my primary mottos. Yep, that's a good way to do it, Dragon. Every crypto people. I think they're above the current system. Just get rid of electric grid or internet. And in a second, the crypto market is gone. As soon as you accept that there's no way out of this, you just live your life to the fullest every day. That's the best. That is the best way to do it. And we should probably end right there. A little hope for the best and prepare for the worst. And as Alicia says, make sure you are living your life to the fullest every single day. God, that didn't sound like the end of a FUD only stream. But guys, as always, fantastic conversation. Very, very interesting. And I appreciate you guys hanging out. I don't think I even flipped away from this page. We didn't talk about vouchers under 3 cents. Let's go. Perfect timing. All right, here we go. But yeah, so I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, night, whatever it is. Start your weekend. We will be live here on Saturday night for the conspiracy theory stream. This will be focused on JFK and MK Ultra. So bring your best when it comes to that. Bring your tinfoil hats, and yeah. Otherwise, yeah, I'll just catch you guys all that night. Trying to make some more videos later today when I get some time. And yeah, stay safe, everybody. I know there's a lot of heavy stuff talked about here, but stay safe, stay optimistic, stay positive. We'll talk soon. Peace.